What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Anarchy on Chance, and this is Sean.
I'm Sean.
He is Sean. We are going to be today ranking our top 10 favorite animes. It is a little hard, at least for me. I haven't watched as many as a lot of, anime fans. I am kind of more of a casual anime fan. I'm not going to lie about that. But I have seen a lot,
Poser.
at least. Well,
Just kidding.
your entire list barely cracked 10 anyway, so who's the poser? Yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and list kind of starting from 10 down to 1, just the favorite shows that we have watched over the years. Eventually, we're going to do a video ranking all of the shows that we have watched on the channel together. So that will include things that aren't anime also. But today we're just kind of sticking to anime only, and we're going to start at number 10. What you got there, Sean?
All right. So I'm actually changing this one.
Changing the list on the fly.
Yep.
Look at that. Okay.
So I'm going to say number 10 is probably going to be MHA Vigilantes.
Okay.
So we're
Didn't even put that on my list. That's a good pick.
We're in the same universe as the main MHA show, but goes in depth with a little bit more of the underground. Obviously, Vigilantes. I guess people with quirks that didn't go do the hero exam or couldn't, but they still want to help the community. So it gives us a pretty unique view of that universe, but I think and I'm an action guy, as you would say, I'm a shonen guy, and the action wasn't all the way there for me.
Okay.
The story was good, but I would have liked a little bit more action, a little bit more show of the quirks. And it was a little bit more boring for me than, let's say the main, MHA show, right? Because that was kind of, that was a lot of craziness, and I know the show is still going on, but this was a lot like slower paced.
For sure. It's definitely something that they're slowly kind of building up. And also remember too, I think we only just got to the time skip in Vigilante. So we're about to hit a 2 or 3 year time skip, something like that. And I think that what you're looking for in the action is probably going to pick up when they come back next season.
Yeah.
Especially with where we left off, with Knuckle Duster facing off against number six, and the revelation that Knuckle Duster was overclocked, and they ended on a pretty good note as far as the action goes with all those the precursors to the Nomu attacking. You got to see Captain Celebrity on full display.
Right.
You got to see All Might on full display in his prime. So I mean, they definitely had moments
There's
where
definitely cool instances
for sure. But I feel like that's a pretty solid number 10 spot for sure, and that's good reasons for that. My number 10 is actually going to be To Be Hero X. A little bit of a deep cut. It's been like a year or so since we watched that. But that show, it really, really interested me in the way that we were following multiple different characters across a pretty good span of time.
And we were going backwards.
We were going backwards in time as
odd.
Yeah, you normally don't see that. You're normally starting kind of at the beginning, and working your way up, or you start in the middle, go back, and then work your way back up. But they were just going backwards the whole time, which was interesting. I thought the animation there was one of the more creative animation styles I've seen lately. Anyway,
especially going from 3D to 2D.
Dude, it was crazy. At first, and
it was very unique.
Yeah, and at first I didn't like the 3D quite as much. I don't typically go for I don't know. I'm more used to like 2D stuff for sure. So the 3D thing kind of threw me off at first in that first episode. Thought it looked beautiful though, for sure.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. And then when they made the switch to 2D, I actually started missing the 3D. I was like, "Where's the 3D at?
Yeah.
Where's my?"
Yeah, exactly. But
And the whole concept of how their powers worked and how the ranking system and like where anybody can become a hero if enough people believe in them that they are a hero.
It's just based on popularity.
Yeah, and the more popular you are, the more powerful you can be, and then the number one, most popular hero, Hero X, I mean, it could basically warp reality. I mean, it could do whatever, know. So it was a very cool story. And I enjoyed it a lot. Not more than a lot of other things that are on the list. It couldn't quite, it didn't quite hit in areas that other shows did. And there might be admitted, objectively worse shows higher up on my list, but like just I enjoyed them more, So.
Exactly. So we'll go to number 9.
Yeah, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Dawn to Dawn.
Dawn to Dawn's number 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Because so it was a great show. Right. At season 1, I was a little bit like, this is too weird for me.
And you were still a lot more new to anime at that point too.
But as the second season came, I was able to understand it a lot more, and it was really great. The animation was fantastic. But it was still quite odd in some of the different episodes, and how the way they went about things were sometimes a little confusing.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a great show. Obviously, I made it into the top 10, but as far as my other shows that I'll talk about, it's probably going to stay at number 9 just for that specific reason that it was a little off the wall, and it was a little confusing at times.
Okay. So my number 9 is Solo Leveling. I love Solo Leveling. I am so excited and hopeful for the fact that, I really hope we get a season 3. As far as I'm aware, there's still no word on if that's even been approved.
There's rumors
it's coming, but I mean, nothing's solid yet. So I'm just hoping for that. But I have read all of the manhwa, so I mean, I finished the entire story. I've read all of Ragnarok, the sequel story. Well, all that had been released at the time, anyway, because the creator is doing mandatory military service right now, or of Ragnarok anyway.
Yeah,
but so we it was a beautifully done. It was a good, fun story. And sometimes I just like to shut my brain off and not have to think very hard when I'm watching something. A lot of the anime that I have higher up on my list are more narrative driven, I guess just like better stories, but this is just a fun, awesome little thing that I really enjoy watching. And I've gone back to a few times since it finished.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So
number 8.
Number 8, I have, where is it? Dragon Ball.
OG Dragon Ball?
So the OG Dragon Ball. Yes.
Okay.
And it obviously made the top 10 because it was kind of what we grew up on.
Yeah.
But it is so old. The animation is sometimes hard to watch.
Yeah. For sure.
It's a lot less shonen than, the other two, Z,
because it's not
Super.
It's a completely different
exactly.
Type,
Exactly.
It's more of a gag manga, like a comedy than anything.
And so that's kind of why I ranked it so low, because it's not really what I'm super into nowadays, but it's still, still one of the foundations of anime for myself, and so that's why I have to, I need to put it on there. But I mean, it is still really great, obviously, and get to see a lot of, actually the entire world building and character development
Yeah.
of the Dragon Ball universe. So it's still very, very important to watch if you haven't seen it, which I hope you have. But it's just the other things, the animation, just from it being so old, and it's a lot slower paced than the other two. That's kind of why I ranked it so low.
Yep. I can see that. All right. We're on number 8.
Number 8.
All right. So my number 8 is JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. I have really enjoyed it so far. And do you see they've already released trailers for the new season?
Yes.
It's insane. They're moving quick
Yes,
right now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but JJK is just one of those. It's almost the exact opposite in my eyes of Solo Leveling, in the sense that I almost have to think too much about what's happening.
100%. Yeah.
But
especially this latest season.
But I mean, the fights are so amazing. The power system they have is very almost overly complicated, but is very interesting. And the animation, it just can't be touched by honestly anything.
It's so good,
especially season 2. I mean, the animation just cannot be touched. Mappa really was cooking with that anime for sure. But I mean, otherwise, that's really the majority of it. Is just one of those, like, it has a good story, but I'm most invested for the fights and the amazing animation.
Yeah. And segue with that, my number 7 is JJK.
Nice.
So for all the reasons you spoke of, and basically, God, especially when they first come out and you have to watch them in sub.
Yeah.
It's really hard because you have to, like, literally, you got to concentrate so hard on what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Especially this latest season when they explained all, like, the entire culling game. And
I still don't fully understand how all that works.
All these rules. And then, I had to watch that. I had to watch this latest season 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's too much. But, well, even in dub, I guess I'd watch it with a really low volume. But since I'm in bed. But anyway, so yes, the fights are amazing, especially for like the domain expansions.
Oh yeah,
like the animation on that is absolutely ridiculous. It's really cool to see. Yes, it is complicated, but see all these different powers. I mean, there's no 2 powers are the same.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So it's really, really cool. And they're so unique. Like, those latest season, this guy literally used receipts to like redeemed receipts to throw out, whatever was on that receipt to use as a weapon. So, I mean, absolutely crazy, very creative, but overly complicated.
Yeah. My number 7 is Dragon Ball Z. I chose that over Dragon Ball. That's the only Dragon Ball show that I have on my list. Mostly because that was the most impactful to me growing up. Like, I watched Dragon Ball as a child, but I think Z just kind of resonated a little bit more. It was a little cooler. And then even as an adult, I know, like, the writing isn't overly, genius, right? It's not, but the stories are just incredible. I mean, the Namek saga was just completely iconic all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
The Android saga, with Future Trunks and everything. I mean, all of these things just really kind of stuck with me and kind of shaped what I was interested in growing up, and kind of still to this day.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I love it. So, what are we on now? Number
6.
6. Okay. 6 for me is My Hero Academia.
Okay.
It did take me, a little bit to get into this show, but once I was into it, I was into it. I mean, I guess the same, like along the lines with JJK, all the different quirks.
Yeah.
There are no 2 quirks that are the same, and it's very cool to see all these different quirks, how they're utilized, even for the ones that aren't heroes, right?
Yeah, just regular people.
Even just regular people that, let's say they can dry clothes with their hands or like fold towels
Like
or,
that,
you know,
yeah,
whatever it may be.
absolutely.
You know, it's really cool to see, you know, a universe like that.
Using power so practically in a
Yeah.
way that most just don't, you
Yes,
know? Yeah.
exactly. And what Vigilantes lacks, at least right now, is the action. There's a tremendous amount of action. You get to follow these, you know, kids from UA. You get to see Midoriya gain all for, or was it no, one for all,
Yeah.
and literally have to put his body through the ringer
Oh, yeah.
the entire series so he can even handle it. Literally breaking bones.
Yep.
Like it's just so cool that there's just like that amount of power that he has, and he has to like be so careful, and it kind of has like that real life aspect to it that
Yep.
he has so much power. Even if he flicks wind, he's gonna break his finger. It's just
Yeah,
like
it was very
yeah,
interesting seeing how, he really had all the power that he was ever going to have kind of like right away. Of course,
yeah,
until he unlocks other powers,
yeah.
but like having to work his body up to being able to
Yeah,
handle the
yeah,
power,
exactly. And the you know the other characters as well. You know, being able to see their journeys through UA and even you know towards the end of the series, seeing what they're doing now.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
It's not
So
often a supporting cast in anime gets to shine as much as MHA's did
yeah,
and like get as much time. And then they were all still relevant and helping and useful in the final battles.
exactly.
Whereas like in other shows like Dragon Ball, the support cast,
They're
they,
mainly just there for moral support.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the show overall is amazing. Amazing story, amazing action, and just very creative.
Oh,
So
yeah.
uh, that's why it's number 6 for me.
My number 6 is Sailor Moon Crystal, the kind of remake of the original series where they cut out all of the filler that wasn't in the manga, so it's a more like true adaptation of the manga.
Yeah.
The animation has been severely updated. I don't know if you've ever watched this.
No, I have not watched it.
So good, but it really is so good, and it's another one that's like was kind of formative for me because I watched Sailor Moon growing up,
Yeah.
and if case you were wondering, Sailor Moon can defeat Goku.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I'll have to see it and check it out. All right. So, number 5, I have Demon Slayer.
Okay.
So, it was one of my favorite shows of all time. The story was amazing. The action is amazing. Uh, the animation is fantastic. And I haven't seen Infinity Castle, you know, the new movie, or not really new anymore, but the movie that came out. But as far as the series goes, it's been fantastic. Like I said, I don't think I have anything negative to say about it really. I mean, I don't know. Did you ever finish it? Demon Slayer?
Finished it? No, I haven't finished it, but
But
it's good. I
yeah,
love
but
it.
I mean, it's fantastic,
Yeah,
and anytime that you deal with like demons or anything like that, that always intrigues me.
for sure.
And so I don't know, it's just a really cool show. Storyline is great, character building is great, and Tanjiro is the man.
For sure, for sure, for sure. No, and I always liked it. It had really smooth animation too. I mean, the story was good. It was definitely a fun show. I do need to actually go back and finish it, but it's definitely a good one. Good place for top 5
For sure.
All right, so my number 5 is Castlevania.
Okay, I've
Um,
never seen that one.
Never seen that one.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
You've told
Castlevania.
me to watch it,
Yeah,
but
Castlevania follows one of the children of Dracula, basically on a quest to stop Dracula. Essentially, he's the vampire king, vampire lord.
so the children of Dracula are like better, like more like have a better moral compass, I guess is what you're saying.
This one,
Oh, just that one.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know if there are many children. Like, I don't think he has many children.
Oh.
In the show, it's just the um. But it's got great animation. It's a good story. I don't want to give too much away if you ever do end up watching it. but it was one of the more fun animes that I watched, and it was I think it was actually a Netflix it was a Netflix adapted thing.
Wasn't like Devil May Cry Netflix as well?
Yes, yes, it
Yeah,
was.
still got to watch that one too. Okay, solid. Number 4 for me is Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8,
Yes.
number 4.
Yep, so
Okay.
number 4. Because it's absolutely fantastic. When we were while we were watching it and talking about it on the show, I mean, it's super exciting. The whole way through, being able to see Kafka and his transformation to becoming a kaiju, but
Yeah.
being one that's like still human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He still had his personality and all that, and then him trying to keep it secret from the defense force. And there's just so many things that happened, but the story was always in line, right? Like I don't think I ever got confused from the storyline.
No, it's not a confusing story. It's a very simple, kind of basic anime, like shonen kind of thing.
And the animation was fantastic. Seeing the different types of kaiju and what their powers are is really cool as well.
Yeah.
So,
I've been thinking. One of the series of videos I'm gonna be kind of putting together for the channel at some point is I'm gonna do a series of different like what if kind of videos. Just what if this was in this universe?
Yeah.
What if Goku?
What if Kafka was in Batman?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No. But one of the things I was actually I've been toying with lately. So I've been playing through the Mass Effect series lately.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love that.
I was thinking, when I was playing Mass Effect 3, I had the thought, you know what anime would be a perfect mix with Mass Effect? Kaiju number 8.
Oh yeah,
like the Kaiju Defense Force would actually, I feel like, be extremely helpful and useful in the Mass Effect universe against the Reapers.
For sure. And Mass Effect 3 is my favorite one of all time.
Did you ever play Andromeda?
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing Andromeda.
I still like 3 the best, but yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing game series. But yeah, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, that'd be cool. So what is your number 4?
So my number 4 is Dawn to Dawn. I have it a lot higher than you do on my list because I kind of have a different perspective, or maybe not even that, but just a different opinion of how I,
how you perceive the weirdness.
Yeah, like what I took from the show. Well, I mean, the weirdness, it's definitely starts off pretty weird, for sure, and it's definitely a very random kind of story. Like, you can never really, without having read the manga, you can never really anticipate what's about to happen next,
Definitely not.
But the reason why I have it at number 4, so high up on my list, is the way that they handled the character interactions between our main characters. I honestly cannot think of very many anime that show a better relationship between two protagonists that or have some kind of romantic thing
it's like
underlying,
unspoken.
And the way that they handle the additions of other characters, like Gigi and what's the pink haired girl's name?
The
one that has the Afro Silky powers.
Yeah. Dude, I don't remember her name now.
Yeah. Well, but like how they handle kind of, Momo's jealousy with.
Was it Ira?
Maybe. I think you're right.
Because I know ISA is, Momo.
Yeah.
Ira.
Yeah. So I think watching Momo deal with her jealousy of, what's the boy's name? What's the guy?
Gigi?
No, the main guy.
Oh, Okarun?
Yes, yeah. Her dealing with her jealousy of Okarun, interacting with, Ira,
love triangle.
Okarun's, jealousy whenever she's interacting with Gigi,
Yeah.
and the fact that both of them definitely like want like the other person, and just how they interact and like how they talk through when they do finally get together. There's a lot of awkward like misses and like miscommunications and stuff,
Yeah.
but eventually
Like an
they do
awkward high
always
school
end up
relationship.
talking.
Yeah.
And like just the way that they talk to each other and kind of work through their emotions and stuff is a level of like emotional maturity you really don't see in anime very often.
Yeah.
You know?
And there is a decent amount of like slice of life within the
Yeah.
crazy amount of action.
And I like that. I like getting those little bits of like, them just kind of being a happy little family and friends and whatever and doing normal things before kind of getting thrown back into the action,
Yeah.
I like those moments in Kaiju number 8 too, when they're just kind of hanging out,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the action is great. The animation is really good. Like all of that is super cool. But I think I like Dandadan most when they're doing their slice of life bits and you're getting to kind of see them interact with each other as characters versus fighting
like
side
their
by
actual
side,
personalities.
Yeah,
And,
that's kind of where I think they do best. But they do it all well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a crazy
So
show.
that's my number 4, Dandadan.
All right. Well, number 3 for me is Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
okay. I almost wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, Dragon Ball Super, obviously, I loved it. I love everything about Dragon Ball, like the whole Dragon Ball series.
Sure.
But there were certain parts of it that why it's number 3 and not number 2 is some parts of it were a little, meh for me. Like, and we've talked about this before, like the Future Trunks saga in this one.
Oh, the Goku Black.
Yeah, the Goku Black saga. It was a little off. I mean, I still enjoyed the action, of course, and I always enjoy seeing Future Trunks, right? But
Sure,
it just seemed kind of random. It was a good way to get the other Zeno, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
I think
it felt off.
I think they fumbled the ending. Like, okay, so I think it was definitely one of the weakest main arcs in Super, for sure. It was definitely one of the weakest arcs in Super. But I think it had a lot of potential because we all knew and they knew we were leading into the Tournament of Power, which started not long. They started getting ready for the Tournament of Power not long after the Goku Black arc, right?
Yeah.
I think it may even have been the setup. I think the exhibition arc happened the next arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think what they should have done, they fumbled the ending because one, they let their enemy get so powerful that literally they could not win.
Yeah.
The only reason they won is because Zeno destroyed an entire universe timeline universe.
A legitimate timeline.
Yeah, a whole timeline just wiped out of existence because they just could not win.
Yeah.
And so I hate to see in any anime, in any story whatsoever, I hate to see like you write yourself into a corner with a villain and you cannot find a way to win.
Right.
And so you have to pull something out of your ass that's so nonsensical,
Yeah.
And of course they established Zeno as being able to do that.
But that's like
we
an
wanted to
unspoken
see
thing.
his power on display. But like we were going to see that in the Tournament of Power anyway.
Exactly.
Maybe they wanted to build stakes for like, oh wow, he can wipe out whole timelines and universes. That's crazy.
I still don't think that was necessary.
But I don't think it was necessary. But that being said, though, with them destroying the universe, I think they really messed up by just sending Trunks and Mai to another version of their timeline.
Right.
So now there's 2 Trunkses and 2 Mais in that timeline. No, we've made our bed. Let's lie in it. Trunks and Mai stay here now.
Yeah.
So now we can have adult Trunks and kid Trunks, at being 2 completely different characters because they were raised completely differently.
100%.
And so there would be a big contrast between them as young Trunks gets older.
Right.
But like, you really should have had Trunks and Mai stay in the present timeline so that Trunks could have taken one of the weaker human spots in the Tournament of Power.
Oh yeah. which would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
And it could have been either Tien or Krillin, not Roshi, because we needed Roshi.
Oh, yeah.
Although, realistically, Roshi probably would have bowed out instead, because he's the oldest,
Probably, but
he probably would have been, so we would have missed that.
His techniques and everything. That's,
but like, I think
you can't replace that.
No, and I think, and Trunks knew the Mafuba too.
Yeah.
Roshi had already taught him that, so Trunks could have used the Mafuba on Frost in that famous scene where Roshi fought Frost.
Yeah.
That could have been Trunks instead, I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but besides that, it was amazing. I loved the build up before that, and then I loved the Tournament of Power.
It was fun.
So yeah, it was fun. It was really cool. There was the filler that was in there was meh, but other than that, it was pretty great.
So my number 3 is Full Metal Alchemist. You ever watch that one?
Yes, and I told you earlier, which you probably forgot, is that I did watch that when I was younger. Oh, okay. But, okay. It's been so long that I couldn't rank it because I don't remember too much about it.
Okay.
Because I only ran through it once.
I think it's one of my favorite. It's not very long. I mean, it's only like, it's like only 100 and some episodes, it's maybe less. It's a very short anime compared to a lot of the longer animes we've gotten, like Dragon Ball, stuff like that. One Piece, sure. Naruto, it's definitely a shorter anime, but they pack so much into that time. And I mean, all the characters are interesting. All the supporting cast is interesting. All the villains are interesting, and then the end result, it did, the final battle. I don't know if you remember, the bad guy, he basically absorbs God. Right, he becomes God, the final villain, and so they're fighting against him, and you would think they would have no chance, but like a human can't, you can't contain that much power, so it just started failing, this and that, the third, But like I thought the ending was pretty good. They pretty much like got rid of like normal alchemy, in the whole nation. But it was a good story. Good ending, and one of the most hated characters in anime came from that. Tucker Shao Tucker, the guy who used he turned his daughter into a chimera with the dog. Remember? One of the most hated characters in anime came from this show, and it's one of the most like heartbreaking scenes. Honestly, I'll never forget it, and it's always going to be in my top 5. I think.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's very solid. So, my number 2, this one is Solo Leveling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it's a good one.
And I recently rewatched it as well.
Yeah.
It's so freaking hype, dude. And I love the even though it went a little bit quicker than I wanted it to, the progression of Jinwoo after he became the player is ridiculously crazy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's the whole concept of dungeons and all that stuff is really cool, in my opinion. It like turns it into a game.
Yeah.
He's basically playing a game.
Yeah.
But he's leveling up himself rather than like a character.
Yeah.
Because he is the character. And it's just, it's kind of also funny to see like everybody around him, like when they find out, just the reaction to the fact that he can level up, nobody else can. Like they've never heard of that before.
Yeah, you find out later in the story it is possible. There is someone in the planet. There's 2 ways. So you can always have a second awakening, which is rare, very rare, but it can happen. And then there's somebody in the United States that has the ability to draw out your potential and make you, it's like 20 or 30% stronger or something like that.
That's cool.
So you could potentially, if you're high A class, you could potentially, if she used her power on you, potentially become a low S rank, or, a high S rank could potentially get up to national level,
right?
But yeah, those are the only 2 ways to get strong. So it doesn't happen often.
But I am excited whenever it happens to see what's to come. I haven't read the manga
so much. It gets so much better.
But
we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah. So I mean, it was so exciting from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. everything about it is cool. I'm just super into it. That's why it's number 2 for me.
Sure. All right. My number 2 is Yu Yu Hakusho. That was the first anime I ever watched back in the 90s.
So I've never seen that one either.
That's insane. We'll have to do that. It's another short one. You can probably knock it out in like 2 weeks, maybe 3. But yeah, it's the precursor, man. You know, for so many animes that I've watched, there's so many, you know, references to this, and of course, it also takes reference from other things like Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball Z, because it was running a little bit after Dragon Ball Z back in Japan, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's a great story. The scaling kind of is very similar to Dragon Ball in a way, you know. I mean, you know, you get the demons, the afterlife. I mean, it's so good. I don't want to give too much away again because I want you to watch it one day. But they have, in my opinion, the best tournament arc I've ever seen in an anime.
Hell yeah!
I'm being
serious. I love tournaments.
Yeah,
I'm about to watch it.
Yeah. Every good anime needs at least one tournament arc.
So we're at the end of the list now. Sean, what was your number 1 favorite anime you've ever watched?
All right, and my number 1 anime is Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. I mean, you probably could have figured that one.
Okay.
But yeah, except for, you know, some of the filler, which when I was a kid, I didn't really give a crap about it.
Sure.
It's amazing from beginning to end. My favorite saga was probably the Cell saga. Just being able to see Super Saiyan 2 was so hype.
True.
Right?
That was one of the most hype moments for sure.
And Gohan, seeing him push through his limits, getting even stronger than Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
Becoming Super Saiyan 2, and then that epic Kamehameha with Gohan,
the father-son Kamehameha,
and his dad. It was epic.
No, true. I mean, so many influential moments came out of Dragon Ball Z, and it influenced so many anime. You know, in the 2000s, you know, 2010s, 2020s. You know, I mean, it's still influencing things today. The only reason why none of the Dragon Ball animes made it onto my list, because I will say, and I say this all the time, is that, you know, Dragon Ball is one of those like manga that like I know more about than most other mangas that I have read, you know, or animes that I've watched, because I've been watching and reading it for so long. You know, I know it better than almost anything. With the only exception being my actual number 1 on the list, which I'll get to in a minute. But you know, Dragon Ball, it's definitely one of my favorite stories because it's fun. It's so you know, it was so important to anime being kind of what it is in America. You know, anime wasn't. Not that it didn't exist, of course, but it was not as popular in America yet in the 90s until Dragon Ball Z specifically came around. You know, and then kind of got a resurgence of anime popularity once Toonami came out in the United States.
Toonami was absolutely sick.
Yeah, that was kind of like the introduction for us, our generation here, to a lot of different anime, which for me, that's what introduced me to Toonami's what introduced me to Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Cowboy Bebop,
Gundam Wing,
Sailor Moon, even. I don't know if I watched that on Toonami, but I know that was like, it was because I was getting into anime on Toonami that I was like looking for more things, you know.
Exactly.
You know, so Dragon Ball is kind of what got me into anime a little bit, along with Yu Yu Hakusho, which was my number 2. Those were probably the 2 first anime I ever watched. And, you know, it's why I am still big into anime now, because, you know, I still love both of those stories. For me personally,
everything else on my list did something better for me than Dragon Ball did, you know, something that just pulled me in a little bit more. You know, I don't know. Dragon Ball's great. I love it. But I do have to admit it is not one of the better written stories I've ever read. And that's just because like Toriyama is not like, he's not a drama writer, you know, and that's kind of, I like things real dramatic, real like intricate stories and stuff. Dragon Ball started as a gag manga. It was a comedy, you know, which started to get a little serious towards the end. And then in Dragon Ball Z, you know, the tone shift completely into the battle shonen that we know it is today, you know, with still, of course, some comedy sprinkled in, but it didn't quite make my list, but it is still one of my favorites. Good honorable mention.
Yeah, I definitely love it. And my son, he hasn't watched it yet, of course, he's 3, but he already loves Goku and Vegeta.
He does. He has these 2 little like little figures. Like, I mean, they're big actually. They're like probably the size of our microphone.
And Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 hair weighs like 10 pounds.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's actually, so for Goku his Goku toy is just like Goku in his base form.
Yeah.
So it's his normal hair, but his Vegeta is Super Saiyan 3. And what's so funny to me is that his hair is so big, it's actually 2 pieces.
Yeah.
It's a base piece on the head and then a secondary attachment onto that hair.
And it is so heavy.
And yeah, it is ridiculous.
God. Yeah. But they're so cool. And I guess before we get to your number 1, couple of honorable mentions for me just because I'm still watching them, but they are really good. One is Black Clover.
Okay.
That's been fantastic so far. You know, there's a little bit of, you know, gag things, you know, to it, you know what I'm saying? Like anime gag things, but like with the main character. But it's been fantastic so far. The fight scenes have been amazing. The animation has been amazing. And the story has been great so far. And then the other one is Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah, that is a very good.
I think I'm only on like season 2, where they get to Kaluuya's family. Yeah, and you get to see his background and how he became an assassin. His whole family are assassins, right? So, so it's been pretty cool to watch that. And again, the fights are amazing. I love that. But we'll see, you know, if they crack the top 10 once I actually finish them.
You know, the author who wrote Hunter x Hunter was the same guy that wrote Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, really?
And his wife was the one who wrote Sailor Moon.
Oh, that's crazy.
Freaking anime.
What a family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. He never finished Hunter x Hunter, though. Just so you know, don't expect like an end.
Yeah.
Because they didn't finish it.
Oh. Well,
so
that puts a damper on things.
Yeah. Sorry. But that's because he has a bunch of like health problems, and it's like, and being a mangaka is like you know, is like super taxing, hard work, you know, and he just can't like sit there and draw for long periods of time like he could used to.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna finish it eventually. It's just one of those things where it's like one issue has been coming out every couple years kind of thing versus you know, once a week or once a month like most. But yeah.
So
fun little fact.
What is your number 1?
My number 1 is Naruto. Specifically, I guess if I have to pick only one show rather than just the entire franchise, because, you know, you did like Dragon Ball 3 times.
Yeah.
So, you know, so if we're just doing one version of the show, I would have to say Naruto Shippuden. The OG Naruto is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. And that was another one of the very first anime I watched, you know, that was one I'm very nostalgic towards. And OG Naruto was absolutely fantastic. The first 5 seasons, is absolutely like incredible. And a funny thing about Naruto is there is a crap ton of filler, right, in the whole franchise. But in the original series, all the filler comes in the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's like the first 5 seasons are pretty much completely canon.
And then you
And
can
like,
just
and
watch
then
the others or
and
not.
then you're watching 4 seasons of just straight nothing but filler because the anime had caught up to the manga at that point. So we had to wait for the time skip for the where the next series came in, which was a couple
Yeah.
years later. We had to wait for the time skip and the manga to get enough issues in before the anime could really kind of like start with Shippuden. So they did 4 freaking seasons of
4 seasons.
filler, yeah. And then this is what killed me the most in Shippuden when we were getting through the entire show. You know, it's very long compared to the original series. At a certain point, you know, and you always can tell when it's like when the show caught up to the manga back in the day, because you'll be following the plot, right? You'll be following something important. The plot is thickened and they're plotting, right?
Yeah.
And you get to a point where one episode they're having a big fight with a bad guy and they're about to go to the next big fight with the next bad guy, and then like you'll have an entire like 20 episode stretch, like an entire season pretty much of just like wacky nonsense adventures and stuff
Yeah.
that kind of don't in any way fit
Makes
the
sense.
story.
Yeah.
And then suddenly at the end of that whole season, then they're like, oh, and we're back to the bad guys. We're back to the thing, you know. It really got frustrating. I've only seen all of the filler for Naruto once because I refuse to do that to myself again.
Yeah, I still haven't really. I mean, I watched like the first like 10 episodes, and yeah, I mean it's not bad. But one day I'll get back to it after I watch what I'm watching now, and then we still, of course, have One Piece that we're watching right now, which is a very long series,
Big undertaking.
Yeah, but I've been wanting to watch that for a while now because it's still so popular.
Yeah.
And then they're doing the live adaptation as well on Netflix. So
yep, they've already got I think 1 or 2 seasons out.
Yeah.
So
need to watch it. I know. I know you keep wanting me to watch it, but
it's good. It's one of the best.
Yeah,
It's one of the best. You know, it's known as one of the big 3 for a reason. It's Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach for the newer generation of anime.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's definitely worth checking out. I think all the childishness stuff, you know, I don't know if I really get that because almost everything we've watched has the same humor, like to a similar degree, or in some cases more. Like OG Dragon Ball was way more childish.
100%. Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. The tone shifts for sure. Once you get to the tuning exams, which I think is only the 3rd arc of the show, like it's like in the 1st season or so, you know, like it's not like deep into the show at all. Maybe the 2nd season, like once you get into the tuning exams, things start getting a little bit more darker and gritty. You know, you start seeing real like stakes, you know, real bad guys and stuff. And then it really just keeps getting, you know, darker from here on in the original story. And then Shippuden is different tone altogether too, because they're older, you know. I mean, of course there's still jokes and stuff, but I don't know. I think it changes for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah, well, I'll watch it eventually. Yeah, I promise. But do you have any honorable mentions?
Ooh, I don't know. Honorable mentions. Death Note. That was the first anime my wife ever watched.
Yeah, I still need to watch that. Yeah,
it is kind of what got her into watching anime with me a little bit. We don't do it very often, but occasionally I can talk her into watching the show, and I can really thank Death Note for that, for opening the doors to her a little bit.
Black Butler was the one for Kaylin.
Okay.
Yeah, she really liked that one.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I know it's contentious. A lot of people will argue whether that's an anime or not, but it's anime enough.
Yeah.
It's anime enough.
Yeah.
So
good one.
Good. And honorable mention to Boruto, also the sequel series of Naruto Shippuden. It gets a lot of hate online because the main character is different from his father. But I mean, like, that's kind of the point,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like I'm just like had different expectations than some people, but I think that was kind of the point, and I think it's really good still. And some of the best fights, I'm not saying in Naruto, but some of the best fights in anime were in Boruto. Yeah. If you ask me.
Well, one day. Is your phone okay?
Yeah. It's just the case didn't snap on right for some reason.
All right. Yeah, my case is has snapped. Because I drop it a lot.
If I go in from the bottom, from the odd end, and then you go in.
Well, that is our top 10, guys. Let us know what you think. If you're aligned with either of us, or if you hate our choices, either way, just let us know, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, and let us know if you care to. Let us know your top 10 in the comments too, or top 5, top 3. Even if you just want to tell us what your favorite anime is,
Sure.
Yeah, we're always open to new discussions and recommendations,
and we can always debate too.
We want to watch more anime. So I mean, if you guys have if anybody has any recommendations for new anime for us to watch, especially if they're shorter.
Yeah.
Something like 1 to 2 short seasons.
So not
that
like
we
One
can,
Piece.
Right. But like something short, like a short 1 to 2 season anime that won't take too long to catch up on, but we could watch on the side, while you're still going through One Piece and this and that,
Right.
Yeah, we're always open to recommendations. We are trying to expand our wings there.
That's right. Well, we will talk at you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.